Hello everyone. Today I'm going to cover the concept of inheritance. So what basically the inheritance? So there are many definitions of inheritance. The firstly I defined inheritance is deriving a new class from an old class is called as an inheritance. And inheritance it can also be defined as it extract the features, characteristics or qualities from your parent, or maybe the parent is inheriting again the qualities and the features from the grandparent. Okay, even the inheritance is also defined as you are creating a child class by using parent class. Okay, so these all definition defines an inheritance. These are the contents I'll be covering in my presentation. What is inheritance? What are the advantages of inheritance? What are the types of inheritance? There are different types of inheritance. We have single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, hybrid inheritance. So all these types of inheritance will be discussed with an example how these types of inheritance can be declared. Each kind of inheritance will be discussed with an example and it along with its syntax. Inheritance in C++. So first we'll discuss inherit definition. So what is inherit definition? Derive quality and characteristics from parents or ancestors. So inherit is nothing but you are extracting the quality, characteristics or some features or some qualities from your parents or ancestors. Okay, maybe you are inheriting some features of your parent. Okay, like you inherit feature of your parent. For example, she had inherited the beauty of her mother. Okay, so this is the beauty is one feature or the characteristics of one quality that has been inherited from your mother or father. Okay. Next, inheritance in object-oriented programming. It is described as a process of creating new classes from existing classes. So here we are creating uh, uh, child classes by using parent classes. Okay, so or we are deriving new classes by using old classes. Okay, and then inheritance, it is also a process of obtaining the data members and the methods from one class to another class is known as inheritance. It is one of the fundamental feature of object oriented programming. So in inheritance we have base class and subclasses. So in base class it is also called as a parent class, and subclass it is also called as a child class. So in parent class we are defining some data members and the methods. Okay, so here the child class is inheriting those data members and the methods from the parent class. So this is called as an inheritance, and it is one of the a fundamental feature of object-oriented programming. Then next, inheritance is the capability of one class to acquire the properties and characteristics from another class. The class whose properties are inherited by other class is called parent or base or superclass. The class which inherits the properties of other class is called child or derived or subclass. So the parent class, okay, that's an first class what we declare is called as an parent class or base class, that's an original class. And the child classes, okay, the child classes which are inheriting the features of parent class. Okay, so those classes are called child or also called as derived class or subclass. Okay, inheritance makes use of the code reusability. So what is code reusability? So suppose I have a parent class and a child class. The child class, instead of defining the same code again and again, so we are declaring many subclasses. So in the many subclasses, instead of defining the same code again and again, they can make use of the code which is already available in the parent class or from the base class. Okay, so that is called as an code reusability. So here we are reducing the code. Instead of defining the same code again and again in the subclasses, we can make use of the same code which is already available in the parent class. Advantages of inheritance. When you are developing an application by using the concept of inheritance, you will be having the following advantages. When you are developing an application by using concept of inheritance, like your development time will be less, it takes less memory, execution time will be less, and your application performance is improved, and repetition of code is reduced, and use of virtual keyboard. So here when you are extracting the feature or code from the parent class, definitely your application development time will be less, you are consuming the less memory, your execution time will be less, and performance will be improved, and repetition of code is reduced. This is a real life of example of inheritance where the big line says that son, I am base class, so this is an parent class, and where in between we are using the concept of inheritance. The small line, it says that dad, I am derived class. So here the small line is uh, derived from this big line. Okay, so inheritance is nothing but this small line is derived from this big line, or this small line is an child class and big line is an parent class. Okay, so this is a real life example of an inheritance where it is deriving a child class from a parent class. So next, you can see the diagram where we have faculty is an base class and student is an derived class. Okay, so student is an derived class which is inheriting the features or the data members and the methods from the faculty base class. Okay, in the above diagram, the data members and the methods are represented in the broken line, are inherited from the faculty class, and they are visible in the student class logically. So here the broken line, the data members and the methods in the derived class says that it is inheriting the data members and the methods from the base class called faculty. So here student is child class and the faculty is parent class. Basic syntax of declaring an inheritance. So we have class is an keyword, subclass name is your child class name, and then we are using colon operator, okay, to access the property or inheriting the features of base class. And then what is access mode? Access mode is what? There are three types of access mode, or it is also called as an visibility mode. So there are three types of visibility mode or access mode called public, private and protected, and this access mode or visibility mode will be discussed in further slides. And then we are specifying the super class name. Super class name is what? Your base class name or parent class name. And when you are defining an subclass or child class, this super class must be declared before declaring this child class or subclass. Okay, and then in the subclass you are declaring some data members and methods. So while defining a subclass like this, the superclass must be already defined or at least declared before the subclass declaration. So here in the syntax you can see we are defining a subclass or child class. Okay, when you are defining this child class, it says that superclass must already be defined, or at least it must be declared before the subclass declaration. So that is the first condition. When you are defining a child class, the superclass must already defined or declared. Access mode is used to specify the mode in which the properties of superclass will be inherited into subclass. Okay, so here access mode, we can specify the access mode as public, private or protected. So based on this access mode, the properties of superclass will be inherited into subclass. The next we have used colon operator, which is used for inheriting the features of base class into derived class. It improves the functionality of derived class. And then this is an inheritance in C++ program example. Okay, so the class rectangle. Okay, so this is an base class. Okay, or it is called as an parent class. And then class area. Okay, so here we are defining the subclass or child class by and then we are specifying the rectangle. Rectangle is what? Your parent class or base class. Okay, so class area, class is keyword, area is your subclass name, colon is operator, public is access mode specifier, and then rectangle is your base class name. Similarly, we are defining one more subclass. Class keyword, perimeter is your subclass name, colon is operator, public is access mode specifier, and rectangle is your base class name. Okay, so here we have two subclasses and one base class. Okay, so one base class name is rectangle and two subclasses are called area and perimeter, which are derived from the rectangle base class. Inheritance in C++ program example, where you can see in the diagram, the rectangle is your superclass or parent class, and then area and perimeter are subclasses. The same thing, the rectangle is one base class, and by using one base class we have derived two subclasses. So this is an example of inheritance where we have one animal is one base class and dog is subclass. Okay, animal is your parent class and dog is your child class. So dog is inheriting the features from the animal base class. The class dog inherits the properties from its superclass animal. Okay, so dog is one, the child class, which is inheriting the qualities or the characteristics or features from the animal base class. Example of inheritance, where the animal is base class. So the class animal, this animal base class has been declared, and in that we have declared one data member int legs equal to 4. The 4 is a value that has been assigned for the variable called legs, and then we are defining the dog subclass by using the animal base class. Okay, so dog is the subclass which is inheriting the features of animal base class. So we have declared one subclass called class dog, then we have used colon operator, then we have used access mode specifier public, then we have used base class name called animal. Okay, in that subclass we have declared one data member called tail equal to 1 is assigned. Then we are defining the main function. Okay, in the main function you can see we have created one object of subclass called dog. Okay, D is an object of subclass called dog. Then we are using cout statement to print the values. Okay, legs are d dot legs and tail is d dot tail. When you call d dot legs, okay, leg is an data member of base class called animal, but we have created an object of subclass called dog. Okay, so d dot legs, so this dog subclass will access the data member of animal base class, that is legs. So d dot legs will access the value 4, and d dot tail, which is already which is a member of subclass called dog, so directly it will access the data member tail and it will access the value 1. Okay, so in the program, animal is superclass, and then dog is a subclass, and then subclass dog will inherit the properties of superclass called animal. Then next, in the main function we have created the object of subclass called dog. Okay, so so we have animal subclass, dog animal base class, and dog is an subclass, and in the main function we are using two cout statements to print the values, and it will print legs are 4 and tail is 1. There are three inheritance visibility modes. Depending on access modifier used while inheritance, the availability of class members of superclass in the subclass changes. It can either be private, protected, or public. Okay, there are three visibility modes called private, protected, and public. Okay, the first type of visibility mode is public inheritance. This is most used inheritance mode. In this, protected member of superclass becomes protected member of subclass and public becomes public. So when you are defining a subclass, okay, and when you are defining a subclass, you should specify the visibility mode. Okay, the visibility mode can be public, private, or protected. So here we are dealing with the public inheritance. So here we have specified class, subclass, colon operator. After that I have specified the visibility mode as public. Okay, and then I have specified the superclass. So here what happens, the protected member of superclass becomes publicly available in the derived class, or the protected and public members of superclass becomes publicly available in the derived class. Okay, when you specify the visibility mode as public. The next visibility mode is private inheritance. Okay, in private mode, the protected and public members of superclass become private members of derived class. So in this example, you can see the class, and then we have specified the subclass name, then colon operator, and there is no visibility mode specified. After that I have specified the superclass. When you don't specify any visibility mode, by default the visibility mode is private. Okay, by default it is private inheritance. So in this case, the protected and public members of superclass become private members of derived class. Okay, when you specify the visibility mode as private, the protected and public members of superclass become private members of derived class. The third visibility mode is protected inheritance. In this protected mode, the public and protected members of superclass becomes protected member of subclass. So here in the example you can see class subclass colon, after that I have specified visibility mode protected and then superclass name. So here public and protected member of superclass becomes protected member of subclass. Okay, next we have different types of inheritance. Based on number of ways inheriting the feature of base class into derived class, it has 5 types. Okay, there are 5 types of inheritance are available: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. So in the further slides, we'll be discussing each of these each kind of inheritance with an example along with a syntax and example program. Okay, how this single inheritance can be declared and how this program can be implemented, and what is multiple inheritance, what is syntax, and how this can be implemented in the program. So each kind of inheritance will be discussed with an example program, so that so that everyone should be perfect with this each kind of inheritance. In types of inheritance, there are different types of inheritance are available, and you can see the diagrams available for each type of inheritance. The first type of inheritance is single inheritance. In single inheritance, we have only 2 classes. The class A is called base class and the class B is called child class, or class A is called super class and class B is called subclass. Okay, so here we are deriving one class from parent class. Okay, or here we are deriving a child class from one parent class, or here we are deriving one subclass from an one base class. This is called as a single inheritance. There is only one base class and there is only one child class, or there is only one parent class, or there is only one child class. This is called single inheritance. In multiple inheritance, we have many base classes and there is only one child class. So this is called as a multiple inheritance. You can see in the diagram we have class A and class B. So this class A and class B is called as a base class, and class C is called as a subclass, or it is called as a child class. And next we have multi-level inheritance. In multi-level inheritance, what happens? This kind of inheritance, here we are deriving a new class from an already derived class. Okay, so this kind of inheritance or such kind of inheritance is called as a multi-level inheritance. For example, here class C is derived from class B. Okay, and class B is in turn derived from class A. Okay, so such kind of inheritance is called as a multi-level inheritance. And then next we have hierarchical inheritance. In hierarchical inheritance, we have only one base class and many number of subclasses. Okay, so here we are deriving many subclasses by using only one base class. So this is called as an hierarchical inheritance. Next we have hybrid inheritance. Hybrid inheritance is nothing but it's a mixture of different kinds of inheritance. Maybe the hybrid inheritance, it is a mixture of multi-level inheritance and hierarchical inheritance, or maybe it is a mixture of multiple inheritance and hierarchical inheritance. This kind of inheritance is called as an hybrid inheritance. Next, the first kind of inheritance is single inheritance. So in single inheritance, there exists a single base class and single derived class. It is the most simplest form of inheritance. So this is the most simplest form of inheritance because we have only one base class and only one derived class. So this is the class A. Okay, in the diagram you can see the class A is parent class or base class, and class B is child class or derived class. So there is only one base class and there is only one derived class. So that's why it is called as a simplest form of inheritance, and such kind of inheritance is called single inheritance, where we are deriving only one child class by using only one parent class. Single inheritance example: when a single class is derived from single parent class, it is called single inheritance, and it is simplest of all inheritance. Okay, because it is simplest because we have only one base class and one subclass. Okay, for example, animal is derived from living things, car is derived from vehicle, typist is derived from staff, manager is derived from employee, circle is derived from shapes. So here animal, okay, animal is what? Your subclass, and it is derived from base class called living things. And here car is derived from vehicle. Here vehicle is what? Your parent class, and car is child class. Typist is derived from staff. Staff is what? Parent class, and typist is subclass. Manager is derived from employee, where employee is base class and manager is subclass. Circle is derived from shapes. So shapes is what? It's a base class, and circle is subclass. Okay. So here we have only one base class and there is only one subclass. The syntax of inheritance in C++. So this is how we can declare and single inheritance. We have a class keyword, and then we specify the base class name. The base class name can be your of your choice. Okay, maybe you are working on some project, and based on that project concept, you can specify the base class name. And once you specify the base class name, after that in that base class you can specify the required properties and methods. And the next you are declaring and derived class name, so you use class keyword. After that you specify the derived class name. After that you specify colon operator. Then you specify visibility mode. Visibility mode can be private, public or protected. And then you specify the base class name. Okay, and then in the subclass or in the derived class define the required properties and methods. So here this subclass is derived from one single base class. Okay, so there is only one base class and one derived class, so this is called as a single inheritance. Single inheritance example, for example, car, bicycle, motorcycle are all vehicles and have many similar properties like tire, brakes, seat, etc. So they can be derived from a class vehicle. Therefore vehicle is base class and car, bus, motorcycle are derived classes. So here vehicle is one base class, okay, because it has all the properties like tire, brake, seat, etc. And here car, bus, motorcycle are subclasses or child classes, whereas vehicle is your parent class. So car, bus, motorcycle, any one of them can be a subclass, and it can inherit the properties from the vehicle parent class. Okay, because vehicle it already has some properties like tire, brake, seat, etc. So any one of these subclass can inherit the properties from vehicle base class. Okay, so here we can have only one subclass. It can be car, bus or motorcycle as one subclass, and vehicle is as vehicle can be our base class. uh, Single inheritance example. So here in the example you can see we have class A and class B. So class A is what? Your parent class, and class B is your child class. In class A we have declared some data members, the salary variable with integer data type. So we have public data members, and class B is child class which has been derived from one base class called class A. Okay, so we have specified class keyword. B is what? Your subclass name or child class name. Then you specify colon operator, then you specify visibility mode, then you specify the base class name called A, which has been derived from class A. Okay, okay, in continuation with the example, so class A, class B, class A is base class B is child class, and we have one public data members of parent class called int salary. Okay, and child class B inherit the properties of parent class A. Okay, so after inheritance what happens? So class B is what? It is been derived, or it has the class B is inheriting the properties of class A, because class B is derived from base class A. Okay, so class B can inherit the properties of parent class A. So example of single inheritance. So in this example you can see we have two classes, class person and class student. So class person is what? Your parent class. In that we have defined some public data members, the name and age. Name is of type string and age is of type integer. and then we declared one child class called student, okay, which has been derived from base class called person. Okay, so you specify class keyword, then you specify subclass name, then colon operator, then you specify visibility mode, then person is what? Base class name, because student is derived from person base class. So in public we are specifying the member function called show. In that we are using two cout statements to print the value of name and age. Okay, so here parent class is person and child class student access the properties of parent class. So student is derived from person class, so student can access the properties of person class, because person is a base class, so it can access the properties or the data members which are declared like name and age can be accessed by student child class. In the main function, we have created an object of subclass called student. Okay, after that we have assigned the values by accessing the data member name and age. Okay, for the name we have assigned Adil Aslam, and for the age data member we have assigned the value 20. Okay, when you call s.show, okay, this show member function is declared in the subclass called student. Okay, but these name and age data members are not declared in this subclass called student, but student can access these data members from person superclass or person parent class. Okay, it will access the data members of the parent class, and then the values are assigned for this data members name and age. Then by using s.show, it will print the values called name and age. Okay, so this is the output. It will print name is Adil Aslam and age is 20. Another example of single inheritance where we have the employee is an base class and developer is an subclass. So we have declared the class employee, and in that we have declared one public data member called int salary. Then we have declared one subclass called developer, and which has been derived from the class employee. Okay, after that in the developer subclass we have declared one member function called data. So in that data function we are telling, or we are asking the user to enter the salary value. So we are reading the salary value, then we are printing the salary value. Okay, then next in the main function we are creating an object of developer subclass. The obj is what? Object of an developer subclass. Then it is calling the data member function obj dot data. So data is what? Member function which is declared in the subclass called developer. So when you call this data member function, so next it will ask the user to enter the salary value, then we are reading the salary value. Okay, but salary is a variable which, or the data member which is not declared in this subclass called developer. Okay, so that's why this class developer subclass has to extract the properties or the data members from this super class called employee. Okay, so because this salary data member is declared in the parent class or super class called employee, so it has to extract the properties or data member called salary has to be extracted, and it has to be used in the subclass called developer. Okay, then it is entering the value for this salary value, then it is printing the salary is whatever the salary value that has been entered. Maybe I have entered 10,000 value, the salary is 10,000, it will be printed. Okay, so here employee parent class is employee and developer, child class is developer. Okay, this child class developer is derived from base class called employee. Okay, and in the main function we are creating an object of developer class, that's a child class, and then we are calling an data member function and printing the value of an salary. So this is the output where your user is entering the salary value 1 2 3 4 5 6, and it will print salary is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Continuing with the same previous program with some modification. Okay, we have employee parent class. Okay, in that we have public data member called int salary, and then next we have developer is a child class. Okay, which has been derived from the employee base class. In that we have declared one member function called data, which is asking the user to enter the salary value, and it is printing the salary value. Next, in the main function, we are creating an object of developer class, that's a child class, developer D, and then D dot data. Okay, we are calling the data member function, which is declared in the child class called developer. Okay, then in the developer class, it will ask you to enter the salary value. Okay, that salary data member will be accessed from the base class, and it will ask you to enter the salary value, and it will print the salary value. But next task is, again they have created one more object of an employee class. Now that's an parent class object is created, that is employee E. E is an object of base class called employee. Then they have assigned E dot salary equal to 10 lakh. Okay, the 10 lakh value has been assigned to this data member. So this data member is, this data member is already been defined in the base class called employee. Okay, so then next we are printing, now salary is E dot salary, so this will print 10 lakh value. So this is the expected output, because when you call d dot data, it will ask you to enter the salary 12345, and salary is 12345, it will print. Okay, so the first task is done by creating an object of subclass called developer. Okay, when you create an object of an developer, and you will call d dot data. Okay, so in that case it will ask you to enter the salary value, and it will print the salary value. Next, again we have created one more object of an parent class. Okay, so we have created an object, and we have assigned the value 10 lakh. Then next we have printed that same value whatever we had assigned, so that is 10 lakh value. The next type of inheritance, we have multiple inheritance. In this type of inheritance, a single derived class may inherit from two or more than two base classes. So in this multiple inheritance, what happens? We have many base classes, and there is only one derived class. Okay, we have many parent classes. Okay, we have more than two parent classes, or more than two parent classes, and there is only one single child class. Okay, so such kind of inheritance is called multiple inheritance, where we have many base classes and there is only one child class. Multiple inheritance, in this type of inheritance, a single derived class may inherit from two or more than two base classes. So in this type of inheritance, a single child class inherits from more than two base classes. That is called as a multiple inheritance. So in the diagram you can see class A and class B are parent class, and class C is what? Child class, which is inheriting from the parent class. Multiple inheritance example: when a class is derived from two or more base classes, such inheritance is called multiple inheritance. It allows us to combine the features of several existing classes into a single class. For example, petrol is derived from both liquid and fuel. The child has character of both his or her father and mother. Okay, so here we have many base classes, and there is only one single subclass. Okay, so that is called as a multiple inheritance. Let's take an example where petrol is derived from both liquid and fuel. So here liquid and fuel are base classes. Okay, by using these base classes we have derived petrol. Okay, petrol is subclass which is derived from both liquid and fuel. Okay, so these are two base classes. Liquid and fuel are two base classes, and petrol is one subclass. A child has character of both his or her father and mother. Here father and mother are base classes, and child is subclass. Okay, so we have two base classes and one subclass. Okay, so this is an example of multiple inheritance. Next we have syntax of multiple inheritance. How we can declare a multiple inheritance? So we have, first we are defining one base class. Okay, by using class keyword, then we are defining the base class name, that is base class 1. Then you can define the required properties and method in the base class 1. Then next we are defining the base class 2. Okay, and then you can define the required properties and methods in the base class 2. Then next you are defining the subclass. Okay, that is derived class name. Then you can use colon operator. Then you specify visibility mode. Visibility mode can be public, protected, and or it can be private. Then you specify the base class 1. So here you are deriving one subclass, and you are deriving one subclass by using two base classes. So you are specifying the visibility mode, then base class 1, then you specify comma, then you specify again visibility mode for the next base class 2. Okay, so here you have derived one subclass by using two base classes, and then you specify the properties and required properties and methods in the subclass. So here we have base class 1 and base class 2, two base classes and one derived class. So here in multiple inheritance example, we have class A, so that's an parent class, and class B is an parent class, and class C is an child class, okay, which is derived from two base classes called class A and class B. So here in multiple inheritance example, child class C inherit the properties of both class A and class B. So here class C is a child class, okay, which can inherit the properties of two base classes called class A and class B. Okay, so it can, the class C is a child class which can inherit the properties and methods of base class A and B, which can inherit the data members which has been declared in class A called name, and even the data member marks that has been declared in class B that can be inherited by class C. So class C is a child class which has been derived from two base classes A and B. The next example of multiple inheritance. Okay, so we'll discuss this example program. In class A, we have declared the public data member, the name variable name, which is of string data type. Then we have declared the class B. Okay, the marks is a data member, public data member of type integer data type. And then class C is a child class which has been derived from two base classes called A and B. And then in the child class we have declared one member function called show. Okay, so in that we have used two cout statements, name and marks. Okay, it will print the values of name and marks. Then next, in the main function we have created an object of subclass called, or we have created an object of child class called class C. Okay, then we are accessing C dot name, and then we are assigning Adil Aslam, and C dot marks we are assigning the value 90. Then we are calling the member function show. Okay, so once you call the member function show, it will in the child class it will invoke the member function show, but name and marks, these two data members, or that these two variables are not declared in this child class. So this child class can inherit the properties of class A and class B. So it can extract the properties or the data members which is declared in class B and class A. So it will inherit the data member, the variable name which has been declared in class A, and the marks variable which is declared in class B, and it will invoke the void show function, and it will whatever the value that has been assigned in the main class will be printed. The name value is printed and the marks value is printed. This is the output of the program where it will print the name which has been assigned in the main function. The name equal to c dot name equal to Adil Aslam, and c dot marks are 90. Okay, so it will print the name is Adil Aslam and marks are 90. Okay. The next type of inheritance is hierarchical inheritance. In this type of inheritance, multiple derived classes inherit from single base class. Okay, so here we have multiple derived classes or multiple child classes, and there is only one parent class. Okay, so we have only one single base class, and there are many child classes, or there are many subclasses. So class A is what? Your parent class. Class B, C, class B and class C and class D are your child classes. When more than one classes are derived from a single base class, such inheritance is known as hierarchical inheritance, where features that are common in lower level are included in parent class. Problems where hierarchy has to be maintained can be solved easily using this inheritance. For example, civil, computer, mechanical, electrical are derived from engineer. Natural language, programming language are derived from language. Okay, so here what happens? So here we have only one base class, but we have many number of subclasses. Okay, that is called as an hierarchical inheritance. For example, so here civil, computer, mechanical, electrical are nothing but subclasses. But the common class is what? Engineer. Okay, so engineer has all the characteristics. Okay, and the civil, computer, mechanical are all the sub branches which comes under the common class called engineer. So engineer is what? Your main or common class, and that is engineer is your base class, and civil, computer, mechanical, electrical are what? Your subclasses. Okay, so all these subclasses will inherit the properties or features or some qualities that will be inherited from the main base class called engineer. Similarly, the next example, natural language, programming language are derived from language. So here language is common class, or it is called as an base class, and by using this base class, the natural language and programming language, two subclasses have been derived. Okay, so here natural language and programming language are subclasses, and language is your main base class. Example of hierarchical inheritance. So here the class type. Okay, so that is your base class. Okay, in that we have defined the data members. Okay, in TL, and we have defined one member function called set values. Okay, the next we are declaring a subclass called square. Okay, which we are declaring a subclass or child class called square, that has been derived from base class called side. Similarly, we are deriving a next subclass called cube. Okay, and that has been derived from base class called side. So here we have one base class and two subclasses. Okay, so here parent class is called side, and the two child classes are called square and cube. Okay, this square and cube are derived from one parent class called side. Okay, in class square we have defined one member function called sq, and in class cube one member function is defined called cube. Okay, so these member functions are declared in each child class, and these two child classes are derived from one base class called side. And this class cube can inherit the properties of side base class. Even class square can inherit the properties of side base class. The syntax of hierarchical inheritance. So we have we are defining first base class, so that is by using class keyword, base class name we are specifying. Then you define the required properties and methods. After that you are defining and derived class 1. Okay, and you are specifying the colon operator. Visibility mode can be the private, public or protected, and then you are specifying the common base class, okay, which is already been defined above. And next once you define first subclass or derived class 1, then define the required properties and methods. Then next you are defining the next subclass or the derived class 2. Okay, the same syntax follows. You use colon operator, visibility mode you specify, which can be private, public or protected, and then again the same base class name you can specify, which has already been defined above. Similarly, again you continue with the defining the many number of subclasses by using the same base class. Okay, you can see class derived n, the same syntax, colon, visibility mode, base class name, and then go on defining the required properties and methods. So here we have only one base class and we have many number of subclasses, and all these subclasses inherit the properties from common base class or from a single base class, that is called as an hierarchical inheritance. In this hierarchical inheritance example, we have class A. Here A is what? Your parent class. And class B is what? Class B is your class B, C and D are child classes of class A. So here class A is what? Parent class, and class B and class C and class D are what? These are child classes which are derived from one single class or from one base class called class A. Then next we have the next type of inheritance, we have multi-level inheritance. In this type of inheritance, the derived class inherits from a class which in turn inherits from some other class. The superclass for one is subclass for the other. Okay, multi-level inheritance is nothing but you are deriving a new class from an already derived class. So that is called as a multi-level inheritance. For example, you can see in the diagram the class which has been derived from class B, and the class B which is derived from class A. Okay, so here class A is what? Your parent class. Okay, by using this parent class, class B has been derived. So here class B is child class. This is an child class for class A. The next class B, next we have class. Okay, the class is derived from class B. So here class B is what? Parent class for this class, and here class is what? Child class. So here we are deriving a new class from already derived class. So that this type of inheritance is called multi-level. In this type of inheritance, the derived class inherits from a class which in turn inherits from some other class. The superclass for one is subclass for the other. So here in class A, the most parent class, class A is most parent class. Class B, it acts as both, because class B is acting as child class for class A and it acting as parent class for child class. When a class is derived from a class which is also derived from another class, that is, a class is having more than one parent classes, such inheritance is called multi-level inheritance. The level of inheritance can be extended to any number of levels depending upon the relation. Multi-level inheritance is similar to relation between grandfather, father and child. Okay, so in multi-level inheritance we can extend to many number of levels, okay, depending upon the relation. For example, here child is derived from a father, again father is derived from a grandfather. Okay, so here we have three levels: child, father and grandfather. Similarly, we have again let's consider some other examples. For example, student is derived from person and person is derived from class living things. So here we have three levels again. Yes, right. Student, okay, which is derived from person, and person is again derived from class living things. Okay, so here living things is most parent class. Okay, by using this parent class, the person has been derived. Okay, so here person is what? Mediator. Okay, so here person is acting as parent class for living things. Sorry, the person is acting as child class for living things. Okay, when next in the next level, when student is derived from person, so here person is acting as parent class and student is child class. Similarly, the next example is car is derived from vehicle, vehicle is derived from machine. Okay, so here is machine is what? Most parent class and vehicle is child class for machine. In the next level, the car is derived from vehicle. So here vehicle acts as parent class and car is child class. Syntax of multi-level inheritance. First we declare the base class name. Okay, by using class keyword we declare the base class name, then we define the required properties and methods. Then next we define the class intermediate class name, and then we specify colon operator. Visibility mode can be public, private, protected, and then we specify the above base class name. Okay, so here intermediate class name is what? It is an child class, and this is derived from the above base class, and then again it defines the required properties and methods. Then next again you are in the next level, again you are declaring one subclass or child class. So you are defining class, child class name, again the same syntax, colon, visibility mode and intermediate class name, and then you define the required properties and methods. So in this third level, in this third level, or in this last class, you can see the child class name. Okay, so this is a child class, and here intermediate class name. So this second class will act as a parent for this third child class. So here we have one base class. Okay, and the first class is base class. The next intermediate class name, this acts as a child class for the above base class, and when you are defining the third class, that is class child class name, so this is an child class, whereas intermediate class name, it acts as an parent class for this third child class. This is an example of multi-level inheritance. So we have class A, so that is an base class, and then class B, which has been derived from class A. Okay, so this is how we define the multi-level inheritance. Class B is what? Your subclass name, and then colon operator, then visibility mode public, and then base class name, that is A. Then again when you are defining an class C, okay, so again you are defining the next class, that is a child class C. Again the same syntax, colon, and then visibility mode, and then your base class name, the class B. So here class C inherits the properties from class B, and class B in turn inherits the properties from class A. Okay, so this is what we have the level. Okay, maybe you consider the class A is your grandfather, and class B is your father, and class C is child. Okay, so class C child inherit the properties from father, and father in turn inherit the properties from grandfather. This is called multi-level inheritance. So the example of multi-level inheritance, so class A is an most parent class, class B is what? Parent class of C, and child class of A. So class B is acts as an what? Parent class for A and child class for the class B is an child class for class A, and it is an parent class for class C, and then class C is what? It's an child class of B. The example of multi-level inheritance, so we'll discuss this example program of multi-level inheritance. So first we are declaring an class A. Okay, the parent class A having member function display. So class A is an this is an base class or parent class. It has a member function display. In that we have used cout statement to print base class content. The next we have defined class B. Okay, this is a subclass that has been derived from class A or base class A, and then class C again we have defined, that is an next child class that has been declared or defined by using that has been derived by using a base class called B. Okay, and next in the main function we are creating an object of subclass or child class called C. Then we are calling c.display, so we'll call the display function A, but we have created an object of subclass called C. So in this case what happens? So class C is what? It can inherit the properties of class B. Next, class B in turn inherit the properties of class A. Okay, so it will invoke this display function, and it will print the content which is written in this cout statement, that is base class content. Okay, the same example that has been continued here. The class B inherit the member function from class A, because class B is derived from class A, so it can inherit the class B can inherit the properties of class A. Okay. The same example, after inheritance, class C look like this. The class C can inherit the properties of class C inherit the member function from class B. Okay, so class C public B. Okay, so class C can inherit the properties of class B. Okay, so this is what multi-level inheritance. So when you have created an object of subclass or child class C, okay, that is C, and it has called c.display function. When you call the c.display function, so class C, that's a child class, it can inherit the properties of class B, and class B can in turn inherit the properties of class A, and then finally the class C inherits the member function that is contained in class B, and it will print the cout statement, that is base class content. So call the example of multi-level inheritance, continuation of that example. Call the display function of class C. This display function class C inherit from class B, and class B inherit from class A, and it will print that base class content. Next type of inheritance is hybrid inheritance. So what is hybrid inheritance? It's a method where one or more types of inheritance are combined together and used. Example of hybrid inheritance is combination of hierarchical and multi-level inheritance. So hybrid inheritance is nothing but it's a mixture of two or more kinds of inheritance. Maybe it's a mixture of multi-level and hierarchical inheritance, or maybe it's a mixture of multiple and hierarchical inheritance. So this kind of inheritance is called hybrid inheritance. Okay, in the diagram you can see the class A is an most parent class, and class B and class C, these are nothing but parent class as well as child class. Okay, so because this class B and class C are what, these are child class for class A. Okay, and for class D, okay, this is an child class, and for this class D, class B and class C are what, parent class for this class D. The hybrid inheritance example. So here class A is what, most parent class, and class B is what, class B is parent class of D and child class of A. So class B is child class of A, and this is an parent class of T. Similarly, class C, the parent class of D and child class of A. So this class C is what, child class for this base class A, and this is parent class of D. So next, when you are defining class T, so this is a child class, and this child class T is derived from two base classes called class B and C. So this class B and C are parent classes for class D, and this is class T is a child class for class B and C. So this has a mixture of multi-level inheritance as well as hierarchical inheritance, so this is called as an hybrid inheritance. Okay, so this completes your inheritance concept. I just want to summarize what all contents or what all concepts we discussed in this presentation. The firstly, I discussed what is an inheritance, the inheritance definitions we discussed. After that, how this inheritance concept can be applied in a real life. Okay, for example, when you are working with an project, when you are implementing a project and it contains a huge amount of code, okay, and when you use this inheritance concept, okay, it has an advantage of code reusability. So instead of defining the same code again and again in the subclasses, okay, so instead of defining the same code again and again, by using the inheritance concept, the same code can be extracted from the base classes. Okay, so here when you use the inheritance concept in your project, your application performance will be improved and execution time will be faster, and the repetition of code is totally reduced. Okay, so all these advantages will be applied for the programmer when he uses the concept of inheritance. Then next we discussed about the different types of inheritance, the single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. So all these kind of inheritance are discussed with an example program, and also we discussed the syntax of how to declare each kind of inheritance. Okay, and how like once you are clear with this syntax, you can easily implement and program, maybe it is related to single inheritance or multiple inheritance or hierarchical inheritance. So and also we discussed about the visibility modes, the private inheritance, public inheritance, and protected inheritance. So all these topics or all these concepts are covered in this presentation, and I hope all these concepts are clear I hope all these concepts are clear for you all, and I thank everyone for watching this video.